So you've done, hopefully, the law of sines, and now let's look at the other, I guess, formula or method we can use to solve oblique triangles, which is the law of cosines. And, again, we have three sides and angles. So the law of cosines is used when you have either three sides and need an angle, or when you have two sides and an included angle. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So for example, this is our oblique triangle, the pretty standard one we have been using. So A, B, and C. So with law of sines, you need an angle and the side opposite. Well, with law of cosines, you can use these two sides and this angle. So you don't need the angle and side opposite. You can know all three sides to find one of the angles. Now, the difficult part of the law of cosines is usually getting the final answer, is using the formulas themselves. They're pretty interchangeable. You've got three sides. The side you're solving for is usually opposite the angle you know. Okay? So, you just have to choose the formula, and then the hard part is the evaluation. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on here. So let's say, for example, that A is 45, B is 67, and then C is 35 degrees. Now you have to make sure you're not getting sides and angles mixed up. It happens all the time. So just be very, very careful. So if I was to fill in the information based on this triangle I'm starting with, I know this is 35, this is 45, this is 67. So I don't know side C, I don't know angle A, I don't know angle B. Since I know angle C, then I'm going to find side C. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. So what I want you to do, I'm going to substitute, okay, because I know A is 45, B is 67, because this is the hardest part, okay, is simplifying this. And oftentimes it's because of the way your calculator's set up, okay? You could take it as few steps as possible. Again, it depends upon your calculator. Now, some of these numbers can get big. So C squared is 2025. 67 squared is 4489. I'm going to multiply these three numbers together here. So 2 times 45 times 67 is 6,030. And then I'm going to find the cosine of 35. 0.8192. I rounded, okay? So what I want you to do is go ahead and check yourself to make sure you can get those same values. So I'm just going to sit here for a second to give you time to punch those into your calculator. So this is something that, I do see missed a lot in the years I've been teaching this course. I see problems with the law of sines, law of cosines. Often, I think people try to do too much on their calculator at once, don't want to take the time to write these steps out. Okay, so hopefully you've gotten the numbers you need, and now it's just a matter of simplifying. So see, I can add these two together. Okay, 2025 plus 4489, that gives me 6514. And then minus, I'm going to multiply those two together. And I get roughly 4,940. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it just because of my math lab. You may need to round here, okay? So, work these with me as we go along. Now I subtract these two. And I get C squared is 1574.22. So C is the square root of 1574.22. And I get 39.7. Now, depending on what you're asked to round to, okay, could be 39.7, could be 40. But that's C. Okay, so now I filled in C. So then to find the other angle, I continue on with the law of sines. Because now I have a angle and a side opposite. So I can continue on with that. But I wanted to take you through one time using the formula to find one of the missing sides. So practice this. Know how to use your calculator. So that's one instance using the law of cosines for that particular scenario. So now we're going to look at three sides. Okay, so let's say, for example, we are given so for my triangle ABC, let's say A is 723, side B is 598, and then side C is 158. So here we have three sides, no angle. So we can't use the law of sines because we need an angle. But law of cosines allows me to find one of the angles. The one we find when we don't know which one to choose, we always choose the angle opposite the largest side. So I'm going to find angle A. So this is the formula we use that involves angle A. So I'm going to substitute. Now these numbers are going to get huge. Okay, but don't let them scare you. And as the more you do these, hopefully you can find ways to make things easier using your calculator. to do more than one thing at a time. Okay, so if I substitute in here, you see that I've got everything but angle A, and I'm not messing with that till the very end. So see, what I can do here is I can square this, square these two, and start moving things from one side to the other. Okay, but again, these are going to be enormous numbers. And it can be a little intimidating. Whoops. 522,729. 598 squared, 357,604. 158 squared, 24,964. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply these three together. So I got minus 2 times 598 times 158. Holy schmokesians. Let me try that again. It could be that big, but it's not. I messed up. So 188,968 cosine A. So order of operations: add, do not subtract. Okay, because you've got a multiplication problem here, so you can't do anything with this yet. So I'm going to take 522, 729. I'm going to add these two together here. You know, just try to do what I do if you have trouble with this stuff. I'm trying to make things easier on you. So this is 382,568 minus 188,968 cosine A. The instinct for most people is to subtract these two. You can't do it. It's kind of like if I had 5 minus 3x. You can't subtract them. But I can subtract the 382,568 from both sides. Okay, so I'm slowly getting rid of everything to get to the cosine of A. So minus 5. So I get 140,161 equals minus 188,968 cosine A. Okay, so you just got to take your time with these. They are long, they're involved. It may take you a while. All right, but it's okay. Now, divide by negative 188,968. It's okay to get negatives with angles. 140, 161 divided by negative 188,968. So that is negative 0.7417 equals cosine A. So the angle A is cosine inverse negative 0.7417. So angle A is 137.9 or 138, depending on what they ask you to round it to. So work through there, making sure that you are able to get what I need or what you need from this, with all your angles and sides. So once you complete this, once you find the first angle, again, then you're going to go on and complete the other angle doing law of sines, okay, which hopefully you've already done. And hopefully you're comfortable with doing, okay? But this is just how to use the law of cosines. So I will stop it there, and sometimes this takes a little practice. I mean, you may not get it the first time, so it's just going to take some practice.